with Executive Sutra, and I'm Jessica Schmidt. Today I have a special guest, Lauren Pradhan, who is a wellness marketer. Lauren, I'm so excited to have you here, and it's cool to reconnect. Lauren and I actually did yoga together about 10 years ago at General Mills, and have become friends since then, obviously, and stayed in good touch. So I know you're working on a lot of exciting things. Can you give us a little overview about your recent project?
Sure. So I am a wellness marketer working in cereal at General Mills. And so my responsibilities are to lead renovation and innovation across our established brands. And so our team just announced the removal of artificial flavors and colors from artificial sources from the rest of General Mills cereals. And so that's been a pretty amazing endeavor for our entire team.
That's so cool. I love how you're moving the needle forward on an established brand. That must not be easy. So tell me about how you stay creative and innovative within a large company like General Mills.
Well, I think when you're working with established brands that have been around a long time, creativity comes from imagining kind of new possibilities and thinking about what does a brand mean in the broadest sense of the word, and how do we reimagine it and rethink it as our consumers are looking for different things. So it actually, to me, is very innovative and creative because you're thinking about what is possible within a box, because you have a brand, but you're sort of stretching it and thinking about it in very different ways.
I loved what you said about imagining new possibilities and what a brand means in the broadest term within the frame of what the consumer needs. So that's really cool. It gets more to the way I perceive it, the kind of emotional heart of why it is that consumers come to your product.
Very much so.
Great. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk now about stress and wellness. And I would like to hear more about a recent stressful experience, if you have one, and how you got through that.
Well, I think that when you're driving change in an organization, there's a lot of stress that can come with that. And so I have found, I'm a student of yoga, as you know, and so I think the two things that have really helped me is always finding the breath and in a situation, and I do a little mantra, which is going to sound very rudimentary, but it really is just saying in when I breathe in and then out when I breathe out. And it's a very simple way for me to focus on the breath. And when a thought kind of flirts in my mind, sort of push that aside and just say in, out, as I have the breath to recenter me when a stressful situation comes up, or I don't agree with someone, or something's happening that I feel like I can't control, because there's, as you know, very little that you can really control in your day, but you can focus on the breath. So I think that's the biggest one for me that has helped me through quite a few stressful situations on this and many other projects.
That is so cool. I love that. I mean, I think the simplicity is so profound. And I loved what you said about staying fluid, and you never know what's going to happen. You can't control things. And that's such a part of the creative process, and anything in business is being able to flow and yet maintain our center. So thank you for sharing. I hope that our listeners and viewers can use that on their own in meetings and anytime they feel stressed. So Lauren, do you have any wellness tips or ideas on keeping a healthy business and a healthy life?
Well, I think the biggest thing that helps me is just when I feel fear or I feel nervousness, I really try to open myself up to that. And I never really understood that expression before, when you make space for something, until I really do challenge my mind and say, what is the worst that can happen? Or what am I afraid of? And I make space for that feeling and open myself up to that. And I think that when I feel that vulnerability and I feel the emotion, it actually dissipates the stress or the anxiety, because it's really you're fighting against something that creates that stress and tension rather than just opening yourself up to it. And that, to me, has created a sense of calm that has led to a better sense of wellness and state of mind for me.
Oh, I love that. I love that idea of stress is just something we're fighting against instead of opening up to whatever feeling is present.
Yes. So that, while I'm not perfect at doing it, it is something that I practice and has been really life-changing for me.
Oh, that's so cool. So as we wrap up, I would just love to hear a little bit more about how yoga and meditation and your other practices have transformed your journey.
Well, I'm a devoted Ashtangi, and so I think that discipline of having the same practice and knowing that it is a work in progress and that the practice is a meditation on the breath and the intention has really been, I think, lessons that I take to business every day. So in terms of you're not going to perfect something, you're always a student, and it's half the battle is getting to the mat and just being intentional, are lessons that I take in my everyday.
I love that. Yeah, just getting to the mat, like just get to the meeting and try to stay clear and calm and focused is yeah, half of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Lauren. And how can people get in touch with you? What's your LinkedIn, or how would you like people to connect?
Oh, they can connect with me on LinkedIn at Lauren Mehler Pradhan, and be happy to chat.
Great. Well, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. And I wish you even more creativity, success, and wellness. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.